One thing that has absolutely not changed is the media's negative and downright false coverage of President Trump and his foreign policy accomplishments. From the beginning of this entire process, much of the left-wing media has been actively rooting against the President of the United States in the pursuit of peace. Initially, the media ridiculously claimed that President Trump was somehow beholden to Russia for even agreeing to have a face-to-face discussion with President Putin inside of the United States. While previous presidents have traveled halfway around the world to apologize for America, President Trump stands up for America, and he has firmly restored America's status as the undisputed leader of the free world. The media said President Trump was making a grave mistake by, quote, legitimizing Putin. They were aghast that President Trump would treat another world leader like a world leader. The media relentlessly attacked President Trump and claimed he suffered a, quote, major defeat for not immediately emerging with a final agreement, even though he said heading into that meeting, this was a meeting to listen and to understand how to move the ball forward. We also saw yesterday the president of Ukraine and all of the other major leaders of Europe fly across the Atlantic Ocean to meet President Trump at the White House because of the progress that was made, and that, if you ask the media, failed meeting, but it was not. It was highly productive and it was successful. This is why Americans' trust in the mass media is at a lowest point in more than 5 decades. Diplomacy is a delicate process, and instead of reporting the facts about what is happening here at this White House and what is happening between this president and other leaders around the world, many outlets in this room continue to try to actively undermine the president and sabotage the efforts towards peace. That is why I felt the need to set the record straight.
Going on in Washington today.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, when you get the band back together, you got to make sure all the OGs are there. So, yeah, we had nice representation from the European Union. And that led our press corps to say they're there to babysit Donald Trump, to stop him from doing anything like bullying Zelensky into some sort of a deal. But Zelensky can hold his own. We've seen that. He didn't need them. And Marco Rubio, our Secretary of State, was all over the airwaves yesterday saying, would you please come down? They're here because we invited them, which is, of course, the only way you do get into the Oval Office. Trump and the European leaders were very magnanimous together. They got along. It was like a family photo. And at one point, I believe he may have even called President Putin.
I think he wants to make a deal. I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand that? As crazy as it sounds.
But look, that's all we're looking for is some progress. It's going to take a lot of this, a lot of these meetings, a lot of these back and forths. There will be disappointments. Nothing was happening, nothing to bring this war to an end prior to President Trump taking office. So thankfully now, at least the wheel is turning, probably not as quickly as anybody wants, but it's turning, Paul, which is progress.
Yeah, in a day when a lot of stuff was said, I think we've got to take a second to pause about something that might cause Trump some trouble here. Conversations about America being involved in some sort of standby, peacekeeping, security force. I don't know if many Americans want boots on the ground in Ukraine. What do you say?
No, not only no, hell no. No, there is very little support here back in the United States for this war and for the United States' participation in this war, even by sending weapons or money, never mind Americans. It's not going to happen. Even President Trump could not sell that to the MAGA base. I mean, they're already mad about a couple of other things he's done, and the goodwill is not there. So no, but European troops, sure. I mean, that's why we were told we were striking the whole land agreement with Ukraine, like we were going to have an investment in, their minerals and their ore, and we were going to help mine it, and that was going to give us a vested interest there, which would allegedly deter President Putin from possibly launching another invasion in the future. Oh, wow, I don't want to tick off America. They've got investments there. There is no way this country's going to get behind American boots on the ground. No.
Now, I know they're not the story, but they tell the story. What about the garbage of the media in the past few days? Oh, Putin was given the red carpet treatment. Zelensky was given the side door treatment. This is just like sort of high school psychobabble gossip crap.
Yeah, they have no idea how to conduct a negotiation that would lead to the end of this war. By the way, neither does Trump, but at least he has a lifetime of deal making and the power to actually do it. So why not let him do it the Trump way? I mean, this is just people obsessing for the point of obsessing. It's criticizing just for the sake of criticizing, just because it's their favorite pastime when it comes to this guy. There's no world in which Donald Trump, who is a showman, is going to invite another world leader, someone like Vladimir Putin over here, without putting on some sort of show with pomp and circumstance. No way. I have been to Donald Trump's celebrity apprentice events that had more red carpet and bunting than Vladimir Putin got. So by Trump standards, it was actually subdued. The whole thing was quintessential Trump. A red carpet, half for him, by the way, not just for Putin, but him, rhetorically sort of saying, look, I rolled out the red carpet for you. I'm treating you well. I'm treating you with respect, and I expect the same in return. And then, of course, the B-2 bomber coming across, amazing, great flex by Trump. Like, we're still the United States of America. Like, you saw what we did to Iran, right? We're not afraid to drop a couple bombs, and we're not afraid of military conflicts. So don't try to scare us like your other guy, Medvedev, tried to do a couple times, getting a little mouthy over the past 30 days and like, oh, we're going to move nukes nearby. Okay, you're not doing that. And then smiles and glad handing and appropriate like handshaking and hand on the back kind of moments with him behind the scenes, which the cameras caught. So it was vintage Trump. This is how he does it. Everyone else can just take a seat. Are you president? No, there's a reason for that. Stop it. What is he trying to do? He's trying to end a war. And what we have, instead of people saying, I appreciate the effort, is idiots like Lawrence O'Donnell, who's on MS Now, I'm sure we'll be getting to that, saying this is all just a distraction from the Epstein scandal.
What Donald Trump will succeed at tomorrow is distracting most media attention from Donald Trump's involvement with his old friend, Jeffrey Epstein, the raper of children who said, I was Donald's closest friend for 10 years.
Now, Paul, it is true that Trump is very good at distracting from one scandal by creating another scandal. Managing to get Vladimir Putin over here and start a negotiation to end the Ukraine war is actually state business that needed to get done. I'm not sure how one gets to. It's all a distraction from Epstein, but that's just TDS talking, as is the obsession over the carpet and the, pomp and circumstance of last Friday.